Title: My neighbor said, "Why do you keep avoiding me?" I said, "Because looking at you hurts." The first time he called my name from across the street, my chest tightened like someone had wrapped barbed wire around my heart. Morning sunlight spilled over the rooftops, golden and warm, birds chirping like nothing in the world had ever been broken, yet my hands trembled so badly I almost dropped the grocery bag. His shadow stretched long across the pavement, coming closer, and I did what I had done every day for the past 6 months. I turned away. I pretended not to hear him. I pretended he didn't exist. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that touch the heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to One Heart Stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Our neighborhood was small and sleepy, the kind of place where everyone knew the color of your curtains and what time you left for work. Children biked past in the afternoons, old women watered plants, and the smell of fresh bread drifted from the corner bakery. It was peaceful, almost too peaceful, like the world was trying to hide something painful beneath all that sunlight. My house stood right next to his. A pale blue house with peeling paint and a stubborn rose bush that refused to die. And next door was his white porch with wind chimes that sang every time the breeze passed through. Every time they chimed, it felt like a memory tapping on my ribs. His name was Elias Mercer. 32. Quiet. Always polite. The kind of neighbor who fixed your broken fence without asking and left fresh lemons at your door because his tree grew too many. The kind of person anyone would feel lucky to have next door. Anyone except me. Because Elias looked exactly like my older brother. Exactly. Same deep brown eyes. Same soft smile. Same messy black hair that never stayed flat no matter how much water you used. Even the way he squinted into the sun was the same. And my brother had died last spring. Car accident. A random Tuesday afternoon that split my life into before and after. After that day, I stopped answering calls. Stopped visiting friends. Stopped laughing at jokes. The world didn't feel real anymore, like I was walking through someone else's dream. And then Elias moved in 2 weeks later, carrying boxes and smiling at everyone, and when I saw his face for the first time, my knees nearly gave out. It felt like grief had learned how to breathe again and stand right in front of me. Every glance at him reopened the wound. So I avoided him. If he watered plants, I stayed inside. If he checked the mail, I waited. If he waved, I looked down. It wasn't cruelty. It was survival. But guilt followed me like a shadow. Because Elias kept trying. He shoveled my driveway in winter. Fixed the loose step on my porch. Once, he left a small note with a bag of oranges that simply said, "Hope your day gets better." He didn't know that my days hadn't been better in a very long time. One bright afternoon, sunlight pouring like honey over the street, I stepped outside to hang laundry. The sheets fluttered in the warm breeze, and for a moment, I almost felt normal. Then I heard footsteps on gravel. My heart thudded. He was there, standing at the fence, concerned eyes searching my face. His voice was gentle, confused, almost hurt, asking why I kept avoiding him. The words slipped out of me before I could stop them, raw and shaking, telling him that looking at him hurt. Saying it felt like breaking open. His expression changed, not to anger, not to offense, but to something softer. Understanding. I expected awkwardness. Distance. Instead, he simply nodded. That evening, there was a small knock on my door. Through the glass, I saw him holding a paper bag. I almost didn't answer, but something inside me was too tired to keep running. Inside the bag were 2 coffees and a folded photograph. He told me he had lost someone too. His younger sister. Cancer. 2 years ago. He said sometimes he avoided mirrors because he had her smile. Then he handed me the photo. It was of him and his sister at the beach, laughing, wind in their hair. And for the first time, I didn't see my brother when I looked at Elias. I saw someone else's pain. Someone else's survival. Grief recognized grief. We started small after that. Morning nods. Short walks. Sitting on the porch in daylight talking about ordinary things like burnt toast and bad movies. The world didn't magically heal, but it softened. The wind chimes didn't sting as much. The sunlight didn't feel fake. One day, while trimming the stubborn rose bush, I realized I had gone 10 full minutes talking to him without thinking of my brother. Not because I forgot him, but because the memory didn't hurt like a knife anymore. It felt like a photograph tucked safely in my pocket. Elias didn't replace my brother. He helped me remember that loving again wasn't betrayal. That moving forward wasn't forgetting. That sometimes the universe places strangers next door to hold the pieces you can't carry alone. Near the end of summer, we painted my house together, laughing when blue paint splashed on his shirt. The street felt alive. Kids shouting. Dogs barking. Daylight bright and honest. For the first time since the accident, I felt present. Not surviving. Living. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, share, and comment. Your engagement helps these stories reach someone who might need hope today. Special request, comment second chances if you believe healing is possible. Now when the wind chimes ring, I don't turn away. I step outside. And when Elias waves from across the street, I wave back, sunlight warming my face, realizing that sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the same ones who help us heal simply by staying.